Hello and welcome to Moment of Truth on Labour Social. I'm Graham Hughes. Well, gather round, peeps, because it's time for the latest episode of Rishi Sunak's Adventures in Conflicts of Interest, as our dear and not at all corrupt Prime Minister prepares for the G20 summit in New Delhi. He's managed to cook up a spicy pot of controversy to take with him. It turns out that Sunak's family might be making some extra dough on the side from the post-Brexit trade deal he's brewing up with India, because being one of the richest families in the UK isn't enough for some people. His wife, Akshata Murthy, has a duffel bag stuffed with shares in IT giant Infosys, worth an estimated £500 million. That's enough wealth to give Scrooge McDuck a run for his literal money. Labour and the all-party House of Commons Business and Trade Select Committee, being spoilsports, want to force Slippery Sunak to put his treasure trove of assets on full display for us, the public he's supposed to serve. They're screaming, "Oi, Rishi, show us what's in that bag you're clutching for dear life. You know, the one with all the fivers leaking out of it." With Infosys poised to be the star of the post-Brexit India trade deal, it's like trying to ignore the elephant in the room while it's tap dancing in goddamn sequins. Darren Jones, the head of the Business and Trade Select Committee, has basically said, hey, even the Prime Minister has to learn how to declare stuff properly. So he's putting Sunak on the spot, demanding he spill the beans on the riches of his famously tax-phobic better half. Infosys is a tech giant based in India with a craving for UK visas such that the very idea would make even the least Brexity Brexit type cry themselves to sleep. They're lobbying heavily to unleash a flood of contract workers onto British soil. You know, the opposite of what the Tories have been promising their base of bigots and ne'er-do-wells for the last 13 years. They want visas, the UK wants whiskey and car tariffs to magically vanish. That's the deal they're going for. Will there be any parliamentary oversight to this trade agreement? Not if the Foreign Office have their way, going as far to warn Darren Jones and the Business and Trade Committee not to go to India and examine the issues around the deal. Well, of course, the Prime Minister and his wife don't want anyone sniffing around this deal, as most of Murthy's and Sunak's wealth stems from Infosys, the tech empire that's so big it could probably be seen from space. Seriously, it's valued at a whopping £50 billion. That's more than Ford Motors. That's more than Ford. Just last week, our slimy, duplicitous and devastatingly unelected Prime Minister got his wrist slapped by the Standards Committee for not properly declaring his wife's shares in a childcare company. Oops, our bad, he said. Now he's added it to the register of interest. But guess what? The Infosys shares? Nah, not really worth mentioning, I guess. It's only somewhere in the region of £500 million worth. I mean, Keir Starmer was given a guestie for Coldplay, the bastard, which is pretty much the same thing if you think about it, and you're a total mug.